Hi family, I Zillionaire once again, and how are you doing out there? Right, I want to actually talk about seasons of life, three stages of life. In life, for every human being, as far as you have blood running in your body, there are stages that you have. For every human being, we all go through those stages, irrespective of when you're born with disability or not disability, irrespective of your color, irrespective of your culture. We all have three stages in life. The first stage of life is what I call the morning season of life, which we normally call sometimes it is the summer season of life. Or some say it is a fall season of life because it's an early stage of life, which is from age 0 to 25. As that when you are born to the earth, planet Earth, you've actually been given that first season of life, which is 0 to 25. At age 0 to 25, you go to kindergarten, or some call it early child school, where you have to go up until when you graduate to basic, and in some countries they call it primary schools, which you have to finish those basic education from that grade to that grade up until primary 6 or grade 8, depending, or grade 7, depending on the country where you are located. Now, when you look at those age of life, you finish your primary education. The next one, within that same 0 to 25 years old, you start learning at that beginning how to speak, putting the words together, A, B, C, D, E. And from there, you start pronouncing and you start bringing words together. When you look at this, it's a stage in life. Then you start walking. Your family are happy. You go to school, you finish that primary school, then you go to college or secondary school, depending on which country you are located. Now, within that same 0 to 25 years of age, you've got to learn how to acquire some basic foundation for your life. I don't know how old you are as you're watching this video. You're listening to this video, or you're actually looking through and thinking through. Life has got three seasons, three stages. 0 to 25 is the age where you want to be able to make sure you have all the right skills in this world that you need to be able to launch into the deeper side of things on the higher level. When you go on a staircase, you will see that the staircase, you've got to take the step 1 before you go to step 2 to step 3, and the higher you go, the fewer it becomes at the top. Now that is 0 to 25. It is assumed that by the time you finish your primary education, you proceed to secondary education, and you proceed to your varsity or college. And by 25, you should be done with your study to equip yourself to say, you know what, I'm now ready to go into the world. Now I have the skills to be able to now start launching into the deep. Imagine a scenario. You can see a river or a sea or a pool. Now you have the right skills to be able to learn how to swim that river through that age 0 to 25. And that river is that place that I called the decision-making place of life. And what are these decision-making place of life? Which leads us to age 26 to 35. At age 26 to 25, which is the second stage of life, it is the second level of life or the second season of life. At that age, you should have actually been in an employment or start your own business, gathering your teams together, making mistakes, going from one employment to the other, trying those skills you've learned to be able to see how you can perfect some set of skills that you will need in the place of works or in the world of works, where decisions are made on the streets, in the broad streets, or what I call the wall streets, because Wall Street is where decisions are made. If you're not ready to fight the war with the tools, which is your equipment, with the skills, you will not be able to know where to be able to go for the war. And that Wall Street require you to be able to go into employment. At that age, you need to be start testing from one job to the other. Making mistake, take the highest risk of life so that you can actually become somebody who is solid to be able to launch into the final stage of life. At that stage, that's when you have your master's degree, perhaps your PhD as well if you are in academics, or perhaps you've done that MBA and your businesses, you have a team around it. You have people, you sit as a manager or a supervisor or a director on the board of different companies, or you lead that company at that age 26 to 35. But my question here to you is, in Africa, most people don't become wealthy until they don't become conversant, they don't become aware about how to create wealth and how to be able to use that second season judiciously. And that is why you see a lot of your friends, where you are, where you stay, where the schools you go to, the office you go to, because they don't have the right information. They don't belong to the right group. They've never taken risk in life. They've never looked at different things on how to be able to build. Because at that stage, that is when you want to start acquiring and laying the foundation for your children and children. What do I mean by this? In the world of wealth creator, as a wealth creator, you want to start putting things in place. Not the stage where you want to be faffing around. You know what I mean? Drinking alcohol every time, night and day. You know what I mean? Or maybe using your time in an unwise format. You know what I mean? Maybe you're not be able to acquire that skills. You're just not able to get serious with your life. But I want to put this question out to you, friends, fellow zillionaires. Age 26 to 35 is a delicate stage, which is second season of life, that some people call summer stage, or we call it a stage of earning. Because that stage, you will be earning a lot of money. You will not be able to see how you want to start a family. You will not be able to see how you want to support your brothers and sisters. You will not be able to see that that age is a very delicate age, where you want to be able to acquire some other additional skills for managerial, for directorate, and also improving your asset skills. Now, when you look at this stage of life, which is second stage of life, it is very, very important for you to know that you've got to know that it is a stage where that skills is required to be able to implement them in every world of works. In the Wall Street is not for those that are quiet. The Wall Street is not for those that are handsome or beautiful. The Wall Street is for decision makers, people that have the right skills. At this stage of life, you should be somebody who is sitting at the end in a room, making decisions, being a supervisor, being an employer, being someone who is an entrepreneur in nature, who is actually making decisions, adding value to your cliques, to your groups, to the society you belong to your community at that stage. But fellow zillionaires, it is important for you to know that if you don't invest this time wisely now, make mistakes at this second stage of life, and now start putting some money aside to start looking for how you can start investing. Now, what do you invest in? There are quite a lot of things you can invest into. There are varieties of them in different areas. But I'll be able to leave it on this second note. Because if you don't do the thing that you're meant to do on the second stage of life, how do you want to be able to go to the third stage and fourth stage of life? Now, this takes us to the third stage of life, which is what I call a winter season of life, which is from age 36 to age 45. At this age, you've mastered the art of skills. At this age, you are now called a director, CEO. At this stage of 36 to 45, you've now been able to start having people within your team that you're mentoring, that reports to you. At this age of 36 to 45 is an age where you don't want to be throwing your CV up and down, because you've done that when you are at age 26 to 35. You will agree with me that these stages of life is very, very key. At this stage of 36 to 45, which is the third stage of life, you've got to have an asset in your name. The Bible, my holy book, says that the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. And my holy book also mentioned that wherever the sole of your feet shall tread upon, you should possess that land. You should have gotten a property in your name. You should have actually come onto the property ladder. You should have actually have some investments in different companies at this age of life. You should have actually had some things that people can actually call. This is Julius Tower. This is Emily's Tower. This company belongs to group of sets of a family like this. A lot of things like that. At this stage of life is when you are collaborating with people, investing into different skills of people, investing into businesses and collaborating. Because you know what? This stage is not the stage you want to be competing with people. It's the stage you want to be collaborating with people. And friends, the final one, which is the fourth stage of life, is where I'm talking about age 46 to 60. At that stage, you are now a mentor. It's not a time you want to start creating business. But some people can actually create business. Or you want to start your own company at that stage, it's also fine. Gathering friends together, gathering team of people together is also not really bad. And also you having something to be able to call as a group of persons. Because you know, as part of our slogan, we rise by lifting each other up. On the final notes, how is your season of life? And what kind of skills are you actually developing? What business have you started? What assets have you gotten in your name? What assets have you been able to think about for your children? And what kind of plan are you planning for your life? On a final note, friends, fellow Zillionaires, our segling Zillionaires around the world, I don't know what stage you are in, where you're watching this video from. If you like this, drop a comment on this channel or drop a comment on the line on the screen. Or you can reach out to us at juliusaroba.com, or you can also reach out to us on any of our channels. But I believe you're going to be part of this great team, and I can't wait to see you at the top. Thank you. God bless you.